People will never understand how it's really been for me.
I don't know what you're expecting now that you're back.
I'm expecting adequate compensation.
There's just something wrong about this place. Not just because it's a school.
From Sylvester Stallone's TV series debut to an Addams Family update from Tim Burton, November is shaping up to be a very varied month in television. Our critic Dheepthika Laurent's here to take us through it all. Hi, Deepthi.
Hi, Olivia.
Now, we're starting, of course, with the very highly awaited release of Season 5 of The Crown. That's on Netflix, of course.
That's right. It is one of Netflix's standout shows, really, Olivia. Season 5 is the first season, of course, post the death of Queen Elizabeth. And it also looks at a very tough time for the British monarchy, the turbulent 1990s era, from the Queen's annus horribilis to Princess Diana's, of course, untimely death in Paris. This season of The Crown will also usher in a new cast. So after Claire Foy for the first two seasons, Olivia Colman for the third and fourth seasons, Imelda Staunton is the new Queen Elizabeth, who's now in her 60s. Dominic West plays Prince Charles. The Australian actress Elizabeth Debicki plays Princess Diana. And Olivia Williams is Camilla Parker Bowles.
We saw a couple of those faces there, but let's get a closer look at the series. This is The Crown, Season 5.
I don't think it's my behaviour that's threatening its survival. You, as future king, have a duty.
People will never understand how it's really been for me.
The great tensions that you see in this season that Peter's written about is between this 1950s outlook on the monarchy and on public life and on marriage and the modern day and how they clash and how Diana really represents the modern day and Charles is sort of caught between the two.
She's at breaking point because of the way she feels she's been treated. They see her as a threat.
So that behind-the-scenes video, and the whole season, in fact, was produced before the death of Queen Elizabeth II in September. Obviously, that has impacted the release of this season, hasn't it?
It has, and particularly because the Queen does not come off really well in this season, nor does the new King Charles. One particular plotline really raised eyebrows. Prince Charles, in rather veiled comments with the then Prime Minister John Major, suggesting a coup to oust his mother after a poll indicated she was very unpopular. The Queen is definitely seen as archaic and brazenly costly in this season. Those concerned with the image of the royal family will understandably find it grating to see this portrait of a queen who's out of touch with her people, but also a petulant Prince Charles, a cold, calculating Prince Charles. All of this coming so soon after her death. Season 5 did garner a lot of controversy before it even came out. Olivia, Netflix were forced to issue a disclaimer for the first time, saying this series is a fictional representation of the royal family. Criticism from Dame Judi Dench, but also even former Prime Minister John Major himself, who called the plot lines utterly untrue.
Wow, so opinion really is a bit divided there in the UK. But what are your thoughts on the series itself?
Well, look, I think it lacks the magic of maybe the previous seasons. I'm not really convinced by Imelda Staunton as Queen Elizabeth, nor by Dominic West, who's most notable for The Wire and The Affair. It's hard to see him as Prince Charles. Elizabeth Debicki is absolutely captivating as Lady Diana. You know, she captures those wide-eyed looks, her maternal warmth, and she does a really good job of conveying the loneliness that haunted her final years. Johnny Lee Miller, also excellent as Prime Minister John Major, the sort of politician on the outside of a family that seems to be imploding on the inside.
Okay, sounds fascinating. Certainly a blast from the past, the late 90s there. Well, we're going from Britain's adored queen to one of the most notorious queens of France, Marie-Antoinette. A new Franco-British production offers a refreshing look at that renegade queen who met a violent end at the beginning of the French Revolution.
That's right. This is a lavish period drama by creator Deborah Davis, who offers us a rebellious, playful Marie-Antoinette, an Austrian noble who was married off, of course, to Louis August, the future king of France. She's given one goal: to produce a male heir, but Louis refused to touch her for several years, and Marie-Antoinette's rebellious ways sort of tore apart the royal family. This series is described as sort of a feminist take, and it explores her battle for personal freedom and modernity in a royal family that appears rather crusty. Take a look.
Your job is to deliver the heir. think she's ready?
I can prepare her.
Yeah.
It won't be long before he slings her out of France.
Never take no for an answer. Fight back.
I am your wife! When are you going to be my husband? She has got to be put in her place.
They're cheering for you, madam.
History is not kind to losers.
So, Dheepthika, what did you make of it? Yes or no?
Well, yes and no. Some of the show did receive some strong criticism from one French paper in particular, Le Figaro, which called it vulgar and obscene. They even said that British and American filmmakers should be banned from Versailles. In their criticism, there is something I do agree with. The show does feel anachronistic. It feels like it should have been sort of pitched as a modern take of Marie-Antoinette, because it feels like that. It feels very modern. Having said that, it's very watchable. It's entertaining. Emilia Schuler, who's the young actress who plays Marie-Antoinette, is fantastic as this sort of naive young girl who becomes this fearsome queen. And I love the portrayal of Versailles. Part of the show was shot on location. It's gorgeous to watch, and you definitely get the feeling that it is sort of this gilded prison. And what works in its favor is that it is an English language show, and it gives it that universality. In fact, the show is actually going to get its US premiere next year, so definitely getting a global release.
Okay, well, you can't ask for a more photogenic setting, I suppose. Well, next to a much-loved fictional character, Rocky Balboa himself is making his first foray into television this month. Sylvester Stallone stars in this mob drama. It's called Tulsa King, and it's out on Paramount Plus.
That's right. Sly Stallone stars and executive produces this new Paramount Plus drama called Tulsa King by Taylor Sheridan, who's also the creator of another show you might know called Yellowstone. This is really a fresh take on the mobster drama genre. Stallone plays Dwight Manfredi, a former New York mafia man who's just been released from prison. When he comes out, instead of being welcomed with open arms by his New York mob pals, he's banished to Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's really the wild, wild west, where he has to put together a sort of motley crew of misfits to set up his criminal enterprise in Tulsa.
Okay, so it sounds like a kind of fish out of water scenario. Let's take a look then at Tulsa King.
He kept his mouth shut for 25 years. No one could believe it. Coming out, he expected to be rewarded, but now he's sent to Tulsa.
I want you to go there.
Serious? What is that place?
It's a dispensary. Oh my God, is he dead?
No, he's taking a break. This is how it's going to work. I'll protect you from the gangs.
What gangs?
And the law.
This is legal.
You got to know your risk.
There was no risk until you came along.
So, Olivia, you know, when he was promoting the show, Sylvester Stallone recalled being rejected for a role as an extra on the Godfather film.
Wow.
So I think it's very fitting that his first foray into television is in a mafia drama. It's hard to believe he's never done TV before, but there you go. Personally, I wasn't able to preview the show because the Paramount Plus platform actually only launches here in France next month in December. But in any case, the show was aired at select movie theaters in the US in late October. And according to the local media there, Tulsa King received a warm welcome, with people really enjoying the sort of humorous side of it, that it's not just a serious mob drama. You certainly get a sense of Stallone's humility as this movie star doing TV for the first time. I definitely think he took a very humble approach to it. I think personally it might just be the sleeper hit of the month, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, intriguing. I'm definitely interested. It's good to see him back anyway. And like Stallone, another Hollywood legend is making his debut, but this is a directorial debut. Director Tim Burton, best known for Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, has a new Addams Family show, and that's out on Netflix.
That's right. It's called Wednesday. It's Netflix's new comedy horror show. It's sort of a new spin on an old classic, The Addams Family. It's centered on Wednesday, the character of Wednesday, played by the young actress Jenna Ortega. She's the daughter of Morticia and Gomez Addams. Now, after being kicked out of several schools, Wednesday goes to the Nevermore Academy, where she has to grapple with her own psychic powers, a 25-year-old mystery involving her parents, and essentially, as Tim Burton said, she has to deal with being an outcast in a school for outcasts. The show Wednesday stars Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, Luis Guzman as Gomez, Christina Ricci, who appeared in the original Addams Family film as Wednesday in 1991 also stars in this 8-episode season. Think of it as sort of a supernatural coming-of-age show, if you like. It's not yet it hasn't even been released yet, Olivia, but it's already garnering some whispers of awards ahead of global Golden Globe nominations in early December. So no doubt the timing of the show is will bode very well for the beginning of the award season.
Sounds like it, and it sounds like there's a little touch of the Harry Potter in there as well. I'll definitely check it out. Dheepthi, thanks for joining us this week. We'll leave you with a peek at one of the most highly awaited shows of 2022, Tim Burton's Wednesday, which is out on Netflix later this month. Do remember there's more arts and culture on our website and our social media feeds. There's more news coming up on France 24 just after this.
Nevermore continues to be a place where the questions far outweigh the answers. I won't stop until I find the truth. I know the suspense is killing you.